Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So in today's video, we're going to go into the first trial run of the Dragon's Depths dungeon, which was unlocked after the Wryz Saga Part 2, Chapter 3. And in this case, we're just only going to demonstrate the red key version because, let's be honest, the green key will be a little bit less efficient, especially if we are at this point in the game. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So, of course, being that these are going to be the same enemies as what we have faced in the chapter, bringing a mixed team of magic should be sufficient for this fight. I did use the same team when I was farming, if you're wondering, on Master Mode. And so for the mobs themselves, Horai Jewel to give mental focus, pain, and poison, and Exosia to boost your type damage, I guess power and speed should be more than sufficient. We got Infernal as well as a Neptune. So the different elements are covered. I mean, remember that some of the mobs are weak to crystal. However, even with resistance, at level 70, they're not going to be too difficult. Now, this Sea Drake is weak to earth, but in this case, again, we'll be able to blast right through it. If you get used to playing on Master, some of these mobs are definitely straightforward. Now, if you're newer to the game, of course, it's going to be quite difficult for you. So I do understand that as well. Don't feel too bad. I mean, this was meant to be unlocked after Chapter 13. And so if you don't have a team like this with all the different Grasta, which I'll show you at the end of the video, don't fret. You will be able to have these after some time. Check out my video on Grasta up to 2.8.50. So I'll link that in the description below, just so you have an idea of how far you need to get in the main story to really unlock most, if not all, of the most important Grasta. There are some Grasta after 2.8.5, which we do use for specialized things, but generally, a pain setup is more than adequate. Now, I'm guessing that this dungeon will have a 2-2-2 setup as well, just like the first one. So that means 2 chests in Area 1, 2 chests in Area 2, and 2 chests in Area 3. Also, because you can use these materials to craft either weapons or gear, at least for the first time, I'm definitely going to be running it with encounter badges up, which I'll also show you. They are equipped on Wryz, and so, that is the best way to do it so that you can kind of walk through, hit all 5 mobs, kill the horror as well, and move on. Now, same as before, any dungeon won't have any hidden paths, so we don't really have to worry about that. All we have to do is collect the sparkles. Sparkles correspond to point system that you will be using in order to collect all the rewards, just like in Chapter 1's dungeon. Also, you can clearly see that the materials are different in this dungeon for this first one, so if you haven't crafted enough pieces of gear and armor from the first one, then go back and run a few extra runs. I think the armor, although its defensive stats are extremely low, those Dragon Wreath gear can give each of your party members, depending on what you're equipping, 200 MP as well as a type res up. The type of res up is marginal. However, the 200 MP really allows your physical and mental focus unit to do extraordinarily well. Also, don't forget that if you've just finished Chapter 3 and have this dungeon, you will have to clear some of the requirements for Astral Archive, and killing mobs is part of that, which will help with that. Even killing the horrors with Wryz in the party will also allow you to do that. So we've got our 2 chests, I believe, already. Just like before, there are also rare areas, and so make sure that you note that you should collect all the chests just in case you have that rare area and get those 1 in 20 chances of getting a chance script. And again, that's pretty much it. Collecting all the points, and those points are obviously marked on the map. So the more important question is, let me know in the comments below what team you are bringing to this dungeon. And I do find being lazy, having the same team over and over again, is actually much easier because we don't have to switch Grasta and gear setup for the most part. I don't know about you all, but I do definitely run very similar teams, and although they might not be 100% effective or optimal for all situations, it's just kind of easier. Like even with my Intrana green key dungeon, I use the same team, but instead of using a Neptune, for example, I'll be using Camouflage, and of course, I can carry any Grasta holders and back to make that 360 requirement for those dungeons. In this case, you only need really 120 light and or shadow in order to get the points, and I think this one should have no difference whether or not it's 120 light or 120 shadow. Again, if you're newer to the game, those are always a little bit difficult to hit in terms of milestones, but hopefully you did all those free 10 pulls, especially if you're newer to the game, getting all of those new units for your roster, and of course a guaranteed 5-star at the end. In terms of sidekicks, if you have any great sidekicks, obviously Tetra is probably one of the best for supports. Just kind of a brain dead strategy where if you have any issues, it'll heal you as long as you haven't died. And of course, there's other ones you can use as well. I mean, there's Guns, there's Kumos, especially if you've summoned for all the gadget units. There's even Moke. I don't think Moke does anything for defensive nature, but it obviously pairs extremely well with Philly ES. All right. You can also see I'm collecting quite a bit of XP for my 2 units leveling up in the back. I do have all those experience, either badges or weapons on them in order to help level them up quickly. And even my SA Suzette is not at level 100 yet, only at level 95. That 10 times XP dungeon bonus is gone now, and so it's a lot harder to level up units in general. I mean, I know that the game wants us to kind of should I say put in our dues for the XP, but it's unfortunate at the very least. Alright, so everything's done. I think I got all my chests. I think I got the 2, yep. And so that's I think is this the 3rd area, right? Yeah. Again, my first time through, I do apologize for that, and of course, being that this is completely new content for both global as well as Japan, I'm sure if you haven't gotten here yet, you'll be able to kind of check it out and see what's going on. This final chest does have a 0.5% chance of getting a chance script. It's pretty freaking rare, but you can get it, and you can get it in all end dungeons. Okay, so it's the same thing as the boss in the main story. You will get stunned. That kind of sucks. Luckily, I don't have too many shadow units here. You will get stun locked, and so be very aware that you don't want to have an all shadow team. Even Efi will get stunned. I don't know if a stun resistance badge will help you with that. Alright, don't forget that as a red key, you do get a 1 in 5 chance of getting a Wryz Light, so hopefully you get one here. And of course, you do get a chance of 3D season opuses. Alright, so unfortunately, nothing of note, although we did get one Astral Archive badge, or requirement, so I'll just show you that, of course. Taking a while to load. So that's the one we killed inside the dungeon, as well as clearing it once. I still have a couple about here to do. Okay. And of course, you should actually look at the records for the symphony or the episode, and it will tell you how far in terms of points you need. So we have 3,680. And these are not interchangeable with episodes or 1 of the dungeon. So keep that in mind. Here we go with the rewards. So what you're looking really for is for 61,500 total points. Obviously, if you want to grind gear afterwards, you can continue staying here for no additional rewards per se. However, you can grind out the gear. And speaking of gear, let's take a look at what we're actually getting out of it. Okay, we can make some new armor. And they are very far down if you're wondering. So I actually missed that. These are the ones that I have that are the plus 200 MP. And these ones I have not even cleared enough to get. So keep that in mind. And they're all on the bottom. All right. So loadout. Pretty standard stuff. I never really changed it, as I said. And even the 4 move slots I haven't done anything about. Falcon's Blessing is mainly so Exosia will activate before my 2 major DPS on this team, which in this case obviously is Garyu, as well as Miss Neptune herself, which is Flam, the foot magic or feet magic master. And she also does have a Falcon badge in order to attack before the enemies. In terms of Wryz, I have her leveling up here. So these are the 2 enemy encounter up, which I actually put some ore on it, as well as the self-improvement Grasta, which will help level her up faster. And then, of course, double XP badge and just regular stuff there. Don't forget that you can level up your pets. In this case, Iridian is still being leveled up. And of course, don't forget to do those adventures in order to get more stats for that. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what to expect. And of course, the level 50 ones will give you less rewards, both from having 1 in 10 chance of getting light for Wryz, as well as no chance of getting chant scripts or treatises or opuses from my understanding. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.